So the Exam 1 study guide is located in the Week 3 folder on Blackboard, if you've not found that. And the learning objectives that are on that study guide are in the chapters in the ebook. And I have an example on the next slide. So for example, the Chapter 1 learning objectives that you need to focus on are objectives 1, 2, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to show you those on the next page, what they look like in the ebook. You'll be taking that exam next week over chapters 1 through 5, and it will be due on Sunday. Not tomorrow, but it'll be due on Sunday the 27th, and I'll set it for it to be due at 10:59 Central, 11:59 Eastern Time, and it will probably be around 75 multiple choice questions, and of course it's worth 150 points, and all of that's in the study guide, and the questions will be more application questions to make sure you understand, not just memorizing facts that are in the ebook, but making sure that you understand the actual content and what it means. So the quizzes that are on the chapters that you've been taking, that you have unlimited attempts on, those quizzes will help you with the exam, because I'll probably pull some of those questions from the quizzes in MindTap to use on the exam. So just as kind of a heads up. And then the other thing about the first exam is that when I do your week 6 folder, I will post a PowerPoint review for all the chapters that are on the first exam. So I just wanted to let you know about that as well. So let me show you the next slide. Okay, so if you go to the ebook for Chapter 1, this is Chapter 1 learning objectives, and so the ones that I'm wanting you to focus on are number 1, to identify the 5 in-depth perspectives of psychology and explain how integrating those helps us have a more comprehensive view of behavior and mental processes. And so that's the first objective. And there is a really nice table or figure in the ebook that has the 5 in-depth perspectives summarized. So, and I'll point that out when I post my PowerPoint review for the first exam. So that's just to give you an example of what the learning objectives look like for each chapter, and they're at the end of each introduction on the chapters. So before I move to the study groups and information about that, do you have any questions about the exam at all, Caitlin?
No, I do not.
Okay, good. That's good. So everything's going okay for you?
Yeah.
Great. And I apologize. You're the only person on. I'm putting you on the spot, and I should have.
Okay.
Okay. I should have asked if it was okay for your voice to be on here.
Oh no, it's okay.
Before I started recording. So okay. All right. All right. Well, now let me stop these slides, and then I have some more slides for the study groups. Okay, so this is just information about the study groups. I think several of the study groups are underway, and they're really doing what they need to be doing. But I noticed that there are some study groups that seem to be struggling, and I want everybody to use the groups to help each other on these exams that you're going to be having throughout the semester. So here we go. So to get to your study group on Blackboard, if you've not found it yet, from the navigation menu there, the black portion on the left-hand side of your screen, you would click on study group right here, and then the very top thing in there is a link for your study group. And so if you click on that, it'll take you directly to your study group. And then of course there are study group instructions in there that you can that explains what they're all about. But these are in my PowerPoint, which when I flip to the next slide, it'll have the instructions verbatim. But that you can download that Word document if you want to look over the instructions. Hopefully everyone has already done that. Maybe you haven't. And then there is a really nice discussion board etiquette video in there that you can watch if you click on watch video. But I just want to the main thing I want to point out about your discussion board etiquette is that you should always address your peers by their names whenever you reply to their posts. So you would say something like, John, I agree with you on such and such. And then if you politely disagree, you can say that too. And you should really try to get the group to be thinking about other kinds of questions. So pose a question to stimulate more thought on the discussion boards. All right, so now let me move to the next slide. Okay, so the study groups, and this is in the syllabus also, they're worth 100 points for the semester, your participation in those. And so the main purpose is to help you prepare for the exams that you're going to be having in the class. I did randomly assign you to your groups, and each group has about 4 members. I think there's one group that has 3. And your groups are named after a prominent psychologist, either from a historical standpoint or a current psychologist who's out there working and doing research or teaching. And you each group has a page on Blackboard, and there are different tools in there that you can use for discussions and sending emails and sharing documents and so on. And I'm going to show you those tools in just a second. And so if your group wants to exchange phone numbers with each other, you can do that. If you're comfortable with that, you don't have to. The minimum thing that you should be doing is using the discussion boards to review the study guide for each of the exams, and then use the tools that are in Blackboard to facilitate any group interaction with each other. Now, each group, if you looked through the course schedule, you notice that there are some group discussions that I have. There's one ongoing now about whether or not psychology is common sense, and I think most groups have taken a stab at that. And I will leave all of those whenever I open up any of those discussions that I want you to have with each other. I'll leave those open for the whole semester, but I do encourage you to get started on them whenever I open them up. And I'm not going to be grading those discussion forums, because those are for you to talk to each other and interact with each other. Every once in a while I may chime in, but remember, the study groups you're going to be grading each other. And so I want you to participate with each other and discuss the exams, help each other with the study guide, and I want you to act as a team, as the instructions say. And definitely don't deliberately try to exclude somebody from your group. If your group is having conflicts or whatever, try to work that out with each other. I mean, that in a sense teaches you psychology, because psychology is all about learning how to work constructively with people who are different than you are. Okay, so now this is the first bullet here on this slide. This is to give you a little friendly competition on the exams. And what I will do after each exam is I will take an average of each group's score on each exam. And the group that comes in first will earn 10 bonus points for the exam. The group that comes in second will earn 8 bonus points. Third place, 6 points, and fourth place, 4 points. And so it just gives you a little friendly competition. Nobody lose points. No group loses points. You're just able to earn points if you come in 1 through 4. So that's just a little incentive to interact with each other more within the group. Now, how the groups are going to be graded. So at the end of the semester, in fact, on November 29th, and I'll give you plenty of heads up on this, you're going to be giving yourself, so you'll evaluate yourself, but you'll also evaluate your other group members, and it's going to be an anonymous rating. And what you'll do is you'll give me that information on Blackboard, and you'll be rating each other on categories such as, well, was the person a team player, and things like that, those categories. And then what I will do is I will average whatever you give yourself and what your other group members give you, and those will be your points out of 100. Now, I do reserve the right to raise or lower those average points, because if for example, I see a group is just giving each other all 100s, then I'm going to know that the group is not really taking the evaluation seriously. So I would take a look at how each of the members participated in the discussion forums on the exams, and then the other discussion forums that I gave you, such as the one on common sense. And if there has been someone who has barely participated, then of course I'm going to lower that person's rating even if the group gave that person all of the 100 points, because that's not really fair for the ones who really interacted and to let somebody get all the points, because it really isn't fair. So I want this to be really I want it to be equitable. So and then likewise, if I think that a group has for some reason didn't like somebody in their group, which hopefully that won't happen, every once in a while it does, then I reserve the right to raise someone's average. So anyway, those are the instructions for the group. And then here my next slide shows you the tools that you have available in your group. When you go into your study group, there is a link or a tab, if you want to call it that. I think the technical term is tab on the navigation menu on the left-hand side. When you go into our classes page on Blackboard, there's a tab that says study group. So if you click on that, I've already shown you from within there what it looks like, and you click on the top link in there for your study group, and when you first go in there, it'll say study group members. That'll be the first thing you'll see in there. So everybody in your study group is listed there, and then under there is the list of group tools that you have available to you. So let me go through what some of these are. So this first one, Collaborate, right here, you could actually, your group could have a collaborate session just like I'm doing right now, and you could interact with each other in real time. And I made the settings so that you could actually record your sessions if you wanted to, and your group could go back and if somebody couldn't come, that person could go back and listen to the recording, or if somebody wanted to go back and listen to it because they missed something, say the group was working on the study guide, they missed something, they can go back and see what was said, and then pick that up through the recording. So you all can do that. There's a tool for file exchange. So if you wanted to use that to upload answers on the study guide, you could do that as well. If you wanted to upload a Microsoft Word document in the file exchange and exchange files with each other that way, you could do that. A lot of times what groups do is they they'll distribute the different objectives on the chapters. Say one person will take the first 3 items in chapter 1 and compile their answers, and then they'll upload those answers in the file exchange or in the group discussion board. Either one is fine. And then there's a group blog that you all could do if you want to do that. You can also assign each other's task in the group task. You could do a wiki if you wanted to. And you can also send emails to everyone in the group. So that's another way to communicate with each other. And then the main thing that you're probably going to be taking a look at and using the most is the group discussion board. And I'm going to show you on the next page what the group discussion forums look like right now for the discussion forum page if you click on this link. So that's on my next slide. Okay, so right now in your study groups, you have a discussion forum for exam 1. And if you click on that, it says use this discussion forum to discuss the study guide for exam 1. So you can use that to have a discussion about the questions on the study guide you're supposed to be answering. And then, as I mentioned, this common sense discussion forum is in there to talk about whether or not you think psychology is common sense. Why or why not? So as we go through the class, there will be a discussion forum for every single exam. And then, as I said, I'll be opening up some more on some other psychology related topics that your group can discuss. So I just want to emphasize that for this first exam, because I know we're just getting into the groove of the class, I'm not going to be as what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to be as strict on the discussion for the first exam, because I know people are just trying to get used to everything, and so I won't be as far as the overall grading when you all do your averages at the end of the semester for each other, or assign your points for each other. I'm not going to be as stern about the first discussion forum, because I know there are some people who haven't even posted one thing yet within their group's exam 1 discussion forum. And so you still have time to do that this upcoming week. So please take advantage of that. But I won't be as critical when I look at the first exam discussion forum. I might go in there and give some tips to particular groups, but so I'm going to be a little lenient because this is the first of the semester. So I think that's my last slide on there. It is. So I'm going to stop sharing that and just ask if oops. Okay, so now, Caitlin, I'm sorry. Do you go by Caitlin or Katie?
It doesn't matter. I go by either, honestly.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to stop there and ask you if you've got any particular questions. If you ask, it might help everyone else when they go back and watch the recording of this session.
Not really. You said that. So my discussion, or like my group,
Uh-huh.
we have a group chat that we started, like with our phone numbers and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And we discuss in there. So do we need to make sure that we do the discussion boards too, even though we're not talking like on there, we're texting about it?
Well, that's a good question. So what what I would suggest on that, because I know sometimes texting each other is easier, what I would do is by the end of the semester or even before, if somebody can screenshot your group text and just upload that in the file exchange or even in the group discussion forum, because I left you the option where you could upload files in there, even in the group discussion forum. So if somebody will just post that for me on your Blackboard page, either in the file exchange or the group discussion forum, so that way I'll know you really have been interacting with each other. And the reason I'm not seeing anything on the discussion forum is because you're using another tool. So, I mean, it's okay to use other tools. I just need to know that you're doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
It makes sense.
Okay, so that adequately answers your question. Okay. Are there any other questions you have about the class in general, or what's required of you, or anything like that?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Do you think it would be helpful if I had one of these sessions at least um, once a week or every other week or something?
I think it would, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna I'll try to figure out a scheduling process to be able to do that. I bet you a lot of people are working today, or they're out enjoying the beautiful day, and so that's why they're not
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So I'll try to figure out some different time arrangements so maybe more people can come, and I'll figure out a schedule, and then I'll send an announcement out on that so people kind of know. But I definitely want to have one of these before each of the exams for sure, to make sure everybody's doing okay. And what I'll do is, instead of waiting to post the review slides the week that the exam is due, I'll my PowerPoint slides, I mean, I'll actually post those up earlier and then talk about them when we have one of these Blackboard Collaborate sessions. But I think that will be helpful for people too, because I want everybody to do well, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be helpful if you posted it and then we discussed it in one of the Collaborate sessions.
Okay, good. That's good feedback. Thank you for that. Okay. All right. Well, do you have any other questions?
Nope, that was it.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to stop recording now, and you have a good day.
Thank you, you as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.